Alice-Mary Higgins.
Taoiseach, you campaigned, and I was one of those who also campaigned for the retention of the Seanad. And you will remember that that campaign, the message was, open it, don't close it. And while we have had discussion of the 1979 referendum, we have two referendums that need to be vindicated. The 1979 referendum on the expansion of the university franchise, which is vital that it be implemented. But let's be clear, it's not acceptable that the 2013 referendum, which was won on a promise of reform, would then go in the queue and wait 40 years further for those changes to come into place. We need comprehensive Seanad reform, the kinds of reform which are put forward in the legislation developed by all parties in a group in the last Oireachtas in the Seanad bill, which is going to be coming back in January into these houses. Minister, or Taoiseach, it is crucial that the public, many of whom don't have a Seanad vote, but who voted to retain the Seanad, that we are in good faith with them by making sure that they get a voice and they get a say in the very important work that we do in the Seanad. And in terms of the content of our Seanad work, I think the proposals put forward in terms of EU scrutiny are something really important that has merit, that needs to be delivered, because any gap in our democracy is a gap in terms of best decision making that best serves our common public. And I would ask, Taoiseach, that you deliver the Seanad reform that we know is not complicated, doesn't need to go back to the drawing board, is there and is on the table in terms of the Seanad reform bill, but that you would also support other aspects of democracy. That you would stand against a creeping erosion of planning and of the rights of citizens in relation to planning, because that's part of democracy, and the erosion of councils' powers and the voice of councils in visions and in ideas for their local areas and for what should happen. This is part of the democracy piece, and again the Electoral Commission will be looking at these issues, but I believe you need to show the leadership that's going to make this happen. On the shared island unit, Taoiseach, in your department, investment is very positive, but we also need that vision piece. What role do you envisage them playing in any future constitutional change, for example? How can we protect the human rights pillar, which is so fundamental to the Good Friday Agreement, and what role can they play in that? In terms of our shared planet, the Sustainable Development Goals, Taoiseach, I believe you should be playing the key role in your department in stewarding and in leading them, in making sure, because this is the vision for a collective good, for in fact a society and an environment which take preeminence, an economy which serves that, rather than having the economy rule over all and society and indeed the environment have to fit into that. On COVID, Taoiseach, not just global vaccine sharing, a TRIPS waiver. This is what we need for real leadership, is Ireland taking a stand and saying, not that we'll export vaccines, but that we will allow people to manufacture them. This is a human rights test for our time, as indeed are the actions happening on Europe's borders. And I ask you to show the rights leadership that you have on this time. Finally, Taoiseach, I come to the end of all of the vision that we might have. I'm appealing to you, because as Taoiseach, you have an incredibly important role and you have 8 more months. I know that you have the vision, I know that you have had the courage in the past to take brave, radical, transformative decisions for the common good. And I urge you to use this 8 months in that way to put a stamp for a better future, be it ending deprivation, declaring marine protected areas, a maternity hospital, a right to home care and personal needs. These are the transformative decisions which you can make. Thank you, Taoiseach.